You are standing looking out to the horizon, having stopped on your morning walk. The light autumn breeze is caressing your cheek, and you take a deep breath of fresh air. Many thoughts are flowing through your mind. You see some birds in flight across the blue morning sky. A man and his dog pass you on the path, and you say good morning and return your gaze to the horizon. Suddenly, your gaze on this idyllic and peaceful scene is shattered. You are stunned by a massively bright flash of light, many times brighter than the sun, that seems to stretch across the horizon. You blink and automatically look away to the ground. As you try to readjust your vision, you are temporarily blinded, and you are aware of a total silence. A silence so present that you can feel it. While you are confused, your body seems to know immediately that you are in mortal danger. You can feel coldness in the back of your neck and the rare feeling of panic kicking in. You look around. The man and his dog have gone. You are alone. Suddenly, the silence is shattered by a sound like a massive gunshot from a gun held close to your ear, followed by a sustained, haunting roar. A cloud of smoke and flame rises on the horizon and has the appearance of a huge mushroom. You've seen this before in old newsreels. You know what it is, but you are rooted to the spot. Hello, my name is Sarah. The danger of a massive strategic nuclear attack on the United States and other nations is predicted by experts to be unlikely today. However, actions by some particular rogue nations around the world and terrorists are by nature unpredictable. At the time of recording, various rogue nations and some not so rogue are displaying itchy trigger fingers and have sparked fears of a nuclear Armageddon. But if someone ever decides to fire a nuclear missile and things escalated to Third World War levels, what are the chances of surviving an attack? First, let's look at the common characteristics of a nuclear explosion. When a nuclear bomb goes off, the area around the blast zone, ground zero, is scorched and pulverized with a blinding flash of light and heat. Death is highly likely, and radiation poisoning is almost certain if one is caught in the open with no terrain or building masking effects within a radius of 0 to 3 kilometers from a 1 megaton airburst, and a 50% chance of death from the blast if it extends out to greater than 8 kilometers from the same 1 megaton atmospheric explosion. The pressure wave that erupts from the bomb flattens all buildings around it, and everything in a 3-kilometer wide radius immediately gets contaminated with deadly radioactive fallout. A nuclear attack will cause substantial fatalities, injuries, and infrastructure damage from the heat and blast of the explosion, and significant radiological consequences from both the initial nuclear radiation and the radioactive fallout that settles after the initial event. The National Academies and the US Department of Homeland Security describe it as follows. A fireball, roughly spherical in shape, is created from the energy of the initial explosion. It can reach tens of millions of degrees. A shockwave races away from the explosion and can cause great damage to structures and injuries to humans. A mushroom cloud typically forms as everything inside of the fireball vaporizes and is carried upwards. Radioactive material from the nuclear device mixes with the vaporized material in the mushroom cloud. Fallout results when the vaporized radioactive material in the mushroom cloud cools, condenses to form solid particles, and falls back to the earth. Fallout can be carried long distances on wind currents as a plume and contaminate surfaces miles from the explosion.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?